Yo, what is up guys and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a review on the CDM Freeze Kappa card. This card came out a few days ago and we're going to be going through his player bio, his player details, his attributes, and of course his traits, as well as the requirements to get this card. But before we get into all of that, if I could ask you guys to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you know when I upload, and comment down below what your thoughts are on this card and if you've used him so far. Now, let's get into the review. Under Kappa, 5'9", high work rates, right footed, 3-star skill moves, 3-star weak foot. We'll get into that a little bit more with his work rates and skill moves and weak foot during some of the clips, because there is a bit of an issue with some of this stuff and there is a bit of a boost for some of this stuff. I played 8 games with him, got 5 goals and 6 assists, so a fairly decent return for a CDM. I was using him a lot to try and start my attack, so maybe that's why as well. But overall, this card gave me a great return. I'm thoroughly impressed with this card, bar 1 or 2 points. Overall, a really just nice card to use. In terms of his details, I put a powerhouse on him. Of course, that boosts the defending and the passing stats for him. As he's a CDM, I want him to be able to distribute the ball well. I want him to be able to defend well in situations as well, clean tackling and interceptions and things like that, especially important for a CDM for me. So that's what I gave him. He is of course from Athletic in La Liga and of course is Spanish as well. Attributes. His attributes are very well balanced, guys. He's actually a really good card in terms of his overall stats and things like that. With the powerhouse trait, of course, you get a boost at passing, so his short pass, his long pass both go up a little bit. His crossing goes up, his vision, of course, things like that. The biggest part of this card, guys, is his physicality. That stamina, strength, aggression, all of that. And given the boost that we gave him with powerhouse as well, it just meant he was able to get more aggressive in defending and get into players a little more and stuff like that as well. Surprisingly, his dribbling is quite good and quite tight as well. I didn't expect it to be as useful as it was, and it was quite handy when you needed to get out of tight situations that you can just have a DM who can pivot so quickly like that. I'm not used to that, so that was really nice as well. And the other key thing as well for me was just in general, the way he plays when going forward is absolutely fantastic. Again, we'll get into more of that in the clips because I don't want to cover so many of the issues right now. The key cons, his finishing. Sometimes his finishing did let him down. He did score some bangers whilst I was playing with him, but of course he did lack sometimes in that department. And his heading, because of his size and his general stature, it means he's not that big a player. He's not likely to be able to contest with those bigger strikers or bigger midfielders as well. So that's another con of that card. Finally, the player traits. He's got the long throw-in trait and the speed dribbler trait, both of which I didn't really see the effect of. The long throw-in I barely even used, and he was barely on throws as well, so that never really made a difference for me. Now that we've covered the card, let's get into what some of the requirements are. So for this Freeze Kappa, we have the following objectives. Score at least 2 goals in 1 match using midfielders in the live FUT-friendly managerial masterpiece with 8 La Liga players in your starting squad. Now remember guys, for every one of these objectives, it's 8 La Liga players in your starting squad. So I'm not going to read that bit out for the rest of them, but just bear that in mind for the managerial masterpiece. Assist at least 8 through balls in the managerial masterpiece. Score in 12 separate matches. Assist in 3 separate matches using Spanish players. And win 6 matches in the managerial masterpiece. Now, on the face of it, none of these are difficult, especially when you have to score in 12. The chances of you winning 6 are maybe quite high. I tend to give people wins once I get to 6 wins and I need to score the 12 games. I just tell them, look, I just need my goal, you can have the win. What other objectives do you need to do? And guys, that's a good way to stop being this community being so toxic. Is to kind of give people wins and be more of a community. So I just want to encourage that as well whilst we're on this video. But in general, these aren't that difficult. Just create a La Liga team, use someone Spanish in the forward positions. Inaki Williams is a great example. Christian Teo is also a great example. Maybe someone on the right as well. I used, I can't remember for the life of me now, Alex Vidal, I think it was, and Sergio Canales. So I had 4 Spanish players, so I got the assists for that quite easily. Now that we've covered all of this, guys, let's get into some of his clips. So guys, just get into some of Under Capa's clips. He's just an overall really good player, and the first few clips that I've got for you guys in general are just his passing plays, his bringing it out of defense and things like that, his transition play as well. He's so good in terms of just the transition and coming from back to front and getting the passes off. And with his weak foot and skill moves, it says 3-star weak foot. I don't feel like it is. I feel like his left foot is really usable on this card. You can see there a lovely little ball into Bergkamp, and again he makes that driving run forward, holds the ball up well. His dribbling is quite good, so you can make your way around defenders quite easily. Another nice ball into Aubameyang there. Unfortunately, the attack fizzles out. Here again, a lovely interception, turn the man quite easily, and again, turn him again, back in there to Dennis Bergkamp, and you're straight on the attack again. And this one, I think, actually leads to a goal. So that's a direct result of his good defending, his good positioning, his good awareness on the defensive side to be able to get back, take those defenders, and then flip it from defense to attack. Again, that one fizzles out. You can see as well, guys, just a little bit of skill there that I thought I'd include. He's got that in his locker as well, where he just pulls off little magical moments. He's done it a couple of times with the shooting and passing as well on this card. But just another clip I wanted to throw in there. This, of course, is again just showing you again dribbling. Just keep the ball. You can keep the ball very easily with him. I use Thomas Partey as my other CDM, so for me, it's a little less easy to maneuver with that card as opposed to Kappa. There you can see, wins the ball quickly, immediately you're into transition, and because of his speed as well, look at that ball right there. That's a left-footed pass, and you're telling me that's 3-star. It's a fantastic ball. It's right into the path of Perez. It's absolutely perfectly weighted, and it's just really, really good to use this card, and especially considering that it's free as well. It's a really fun card to use. He gets assists all over the place. He makes driving runs all over the place. Speaking of which, guys, this is the one con of the Kappa card that I found, was that his work rates do not appear to be true. What I mean by that is, his work rates say high, and whilst he does get forward really well, he does not get back on the defensive end as quick as he should be. It feels, again, and I've said this before with other cards, there's a card actually like this, Oxlade-Chamberlain, the player moments card, where he has high and he gets back relatively quickly. I actually played the two of them together in one game, and Kappa was so slow to come back, it was paining me, because I played him as a sole DM in that position then, and Ox was kind of the player playing with him. Again, here you can see some of his finishing is really good. He makes those runs by himself. I'm actually not forcing him to make those runs. He makes those runs by himself, just gets forward so quickly. And that's really a great thing, because it provides you an extra option up front. His finishing is pretty reasonable as well. I mean, not in terms of like the raw finishing, but overall his shot power and ability to get through means that you're often creating easy chances for yourself, and that leads to easy goals or powerful finishes as well. His shot power is 94, remember, so this clip is maybe a bit drawn out. You're wondering where he is, but that's not me controlling him, by the way. He's just arriving on the edge of the box right now, and all of a sudden he just springs into the box. Again, he positions himself well. He's got a high attack positioning, and that's a tidy finish in the top corner. Again, not that difficult to finish. So when you do get him into these positions, he can finish it very well. Again here, using that dribbling to try and hold off the defender, just take it inside, a little tap around him, and a smash into the far corner again. So guys, getting to the final Kappa summary for this card. Of course, the athletic player, Athletic Bilbao from La Liga, Spanish player as well. 8 games played, 5 goals scored, and 6 assists. So he was a bit of an all-round player for me. I really did enjoy using this card. The key stats for me on this card were his physicality. He is a great physical player, and when you boost the other parts of this card, no matter which sections you boost, whether it's the pace, the shooting, the passing, dribbling, or the defending, any of the stat sections, you will get a very, very good card in a very, very usable position. In terms of his weaknesses, I put his finishing down there. I think if you put something that will boost his finishing, like a gladiator, then that will help him a lot, but it's not something I would be looking to put on a DM. And of course his heading is a bit of an issue given his height. I of course put the powerhouse on him. I thought that was the best one for him in terms of just getting the most out of this card. The main thing about this card, guys, that I would say, and I want to get into this before the next slide comes up, is that the weirdest thing about this card is his positioning. You can see that in the key cons. His positioning is a real one, because you can't play him as your defensive midfielder. He'd be very good in centre midfield, he'd be very good as a defensive midfielder with someone else. He breaks the lines very well, he goes between defense and attack and transitions really well compared to other players, but I would not play him as a sole DM. You've got some great links like Record David Silva, Inaki Williams if you've done that SBC, or a similar player to Seedorf and Oxlade-Chamberlain. That kind of build, that kind of stature, that kind of ability just to be able to go from back to front so quickly. Would I recommend doing this card, guys? Yes, I would. I think he is a good card to do. Fairly easy requirements as well, and is a fun card for La Liga teams. Cheaper option, of course, because he is free. It's just about putting the time in. So, with that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy the review, and if you did, please do smash that like button, and I will see you guys again soon. In a bit.